Kenneth Walker sets the record for rushing yards.
You got to fight somebody.
Enough is enough.
The guy's 6'6", like 330. Kenneth Walker sets the record for rushing yards in the first half, kept it rolling in the second, ran the ball 27 times for 135 yards, and takes home the MVP. Nick, do you think the voters got this right?
No, I wish they would have colluded to give it to a defensive player.
Well, who?
Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Devin Witherspoon, so to the point you guys were making earlier, listen, his whole season, he pass rushed 21 times. He then did it 6 times in the Super Bowl, and he looked like an old pro at it. He's swim-moving tackles. And he got a sack. He also doesn't get any credit for the pick 6, but he caused it. You know, because it wasn't called a forced fumble. It was called a pass that turned it. And so I just thought Kenneth Walker was really good. But because the holding penalty took away the long touchdown, the story, and even if that hadn't happened, the story of this game was the Seahawks defense.
That's right.
And I think it would have been, totally fine for the voters to be like, hey, who here wants to vote for a defensive player? Let's make sure we're voting for the same defensive player. Now, maybe you're not supposed to do that, but
that feels right. That's the story of
the story of the Super Bowl was the Seahawks defense.
Yeah, like when you watch that game again, Kenneth Walker, did he deserve it?
He was awesome.
Yeah. He did, because he stood out offensively on a team that we didn't see anything offensively really popping off.
Yeah.
However, when we watched that game at large, what stood out to any and everybody was, man, this defense is going crazy right now. And when you have a defense that is making that amount of plays and causing that type of impact, you naturally feel like, man, somebody on that defense is deserving. He gets the sack. He caused the fumble, too.
Yeah, right.
So it's like he forced the fumble that it ended up being a touchdown. I thought he was getting it. But again, I'm not saying that Kenneth Walker wasn't deserving of it and he couldn't have earned it, because he did. He did run hard. He did obviously have impact plays. 3 of the 4 20-plus yards that they did have, he had 3 of them. So, I mean, he was deserving, but the way that game just played out, defensively, you thought one of those guys was going to get it.
Witherspoon was great, but I think they got it right. You got to score points, too. And I know he didn't score a touchdown, but he moved that football down the field. Darnold was not moving the ball down the field. He had the touchdown late, on the pass on the short field. But Walker is the 3rd player ever in the Super Bowl history to have 2 runs of 25 or more yards.
That's pretty
He
good.
ran for the most yards, 135, since Terrell Davis almost 30 years ago.
Yep.
And Davis won the MVP as well. Like, he was just carrying their offense. I know they weren't scoring touchdowns, but the field goals mattered too. And so I think they got it right. He had a fantastic postseason overall. But, yeah, I think they got it right. I was wishing, but the holding penalty, like, I was hoping that he did, because that would have given him, over 170 yards.
Yes, and a touchdown.
But the holding penalty is what sprung it. He's not doing that
like
without the penalty. But, I think they got it right. I think he was great.
There's like 9 guys on Seattle that could have gotten it. There is. The punter.
You don't think he should? Well,
no, I'm saying everybody played great. The kicker could have gotten it. The punter could have gotten it. Several defensive players could have gotten it.
You make a good point, though, about Walker, especially because we learned last week that Milton Williams and Christian Barmore are basically Richard Dent and Aaron Donald. So, like,
right, they were supposed to shut down the run game.
Right. I mean, you obviously can't run against them.
I know.
So that guy,
you know what?
Maybe he's the best player in the
Kenneth
league.
Walker.
Wow. Someone took mine. Why did you take him out of here?
I would have.
What?
First running back to win Super Bowl MVP.
Hit it from
28 years. So congratulations to Kenneth Walker. This just really got in my craw, Greg. Drake Maye said he was feeling good and was off the injury report leading up to the game. He also got a pain-killing injection before the game and couldn't feel his shoulder. Here he was after the game.
My shoulder feels, I shot it up, so not much feeling. It was good to go, and it felt all right.
Well, didn't look like it was good to go, to be 100% honest with you. Drives ending with a punt, longest streaks in Super Bowl history. We had 8. And then we also had 8 in 2018. We won that game. Yikes, stripes. What's your take on why Drake struggled? Nick, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, he struggled all playoffs. I mean, we can blame the fact that he had 40 yards in the first half of the AFC Championship game on a blizzard that started in the second half. We can talk about a game where he threw a pick and fumbled 4 times that he actually played well because he had a couple big plays in it. Or the first game of the playoffs where the offense scored 16 points and be like, but in the second half he came alive. Drake Maye's played poorly for a month. And now he was playing what a lot of us thought was a defense at least as good as the Texans and Broncos defenses. And you add to it that he is a little banged up, like most NFL players at this point. Now, unlike most banged up NFL players, he was not on the injury report leading into the game. They actually took him off the injury report the Friday before the game. And so, I don't know what the league will do with the fact that he got shot up for a shoulder injury that the Patriots said didn't exist. But like a lot of young quarterbacks in their first postseason, he wasn't the same guy he was in the regular season. It is rare, incredibly rare, for quarterbacks to be as good as they are in their great regular season that gets them to their first postseason in the postseason. And so Seattle's great, their defense is great, Mike McDaniels great, but my real struggle, Greg, was some of the narrative going into the game was people were correctly pointing out how historically tough the Patriots' path of defenses faced has been, which was true. But it was, to me, not all that meaningful because all of their offensive numbers were like, oh, yeah, you were playing some really good defenses and struggling against them. And so they once again played a great defense, and once again the offense looked like it was playing a great defense.
Yeah, this was the first offense that I felt like they played all postseason that could actually put up a lot of points. Like you look at the Chargers, they were without offensive line, running backs, the whole 9. And then obviously we know what C.J. Stroud didn't have at his disposal and how he was playing. And then the Denver Broncos didn't have the quarterback, so on and so forth. But for me, the biggest reason for his struggles was more so than in this game, in this Super Bowl, than in any of those other games, I thought he got sped up. He played the way that they were hoping they could make him play. Meaning, when he caught that ball, he started anticipating feeling pressure because he was getting pressured. From the second run play of the game, Wilds,
Yeah, it wasn't good.
they got blown up on that left side. And then the third play of the game with a quick little dunk to Stevenson where he gets the first down, Will Campbell's in his lap.
Yep.
Right away, they were making him aware, we're going to be in your face all day.
Yeah.
And they did it over and over, and so you started to see him speed up. His time clock got sped up. They never made any adjustments. They never built in any quick little screens or hot routes. It was odd to me, but again, I don't know if year 5 or 7 Drake Maye suggests, hey, let's switch up some things. Year 2, Drake Maye is probably just going to go to the sideline and listen to what the coach is going to adjust to.
Well, year 0, Kevin Wilds knew that we were supposed to do that. Like, it's pretty obvious that a conventional game plan was not going to work immediately.
Maybe they were as confident as you were. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Yes,
like,
you
maybe,
are.
No, but I'm saying, like, they
Didn't feel like it.
No,
it didn't look the same.
I'm saying going into the game, maybe they felt like you felt. Man, this defense. This defense. Phillip Rivers moved the ball on them.
Didn't feel like that, but right away we didn't look the same. And if you know your quarterback just took a shot and he was the most accurate quarterback in the entire league. And he fell off a cliff.
The playoffs.
So it's either youth, nerves, or injury, or a combination of everything.
Plus, you played
and great
teams.
defense.
I
Obviously,
think
that's probably the biggest slice.
Remember,
of the pie.
you had the weak schedule in the regular season. Obviously, the playoffs is always tough, but you guys had it tougher against these defenses.
Yeah.
These great defenses gave him trouble. And I think there are a lot of things you can blame, but Seattle's defense made him struggle.
Yes.
He didn't just go out there and struggle. I'm not putting any stock in the shoulder. I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys are banged up at this point.
But the ball's coming out of his hand. Like,
But
the ball doesn't
can I
look
ask
like
you
the
about
same.
that, KW? Didn't you? Because late in the game, when you guys had the 2-play touchdown drive, cut it 19-7.
That was a perfect pass.
He's throwing the ball the best he's thrown it. Then the next drive, when you have the ball 19-7, Collinsworth is saying this is the best he's looked all game, and then he makes just a incomprehensible decision throwing in triple coverage.
Can I say something? I don't think the ball was supposed to go there. I think he was trying to hit whoever was over the top, and his arm wasn't there.
No.
But it was there for the touchdown
He could
pass.
not have thrown. You're saying he couldn't have thrown it far enough?
So yeah, this is
I don't think it was a bad decision. I think
This
it was a
is
bad
where,
arm.
when I listened to him talk about, my shoulder was nothing, like I could feel nothing. I think he was alluding to the idea of once you get shot, like I didn't feel any pain anymore. Like I was fine. I was good to go. Where I think you cannot disregard it is one of the areas where I felt like we saw him not really showcase who he was getting out the pocket and using his legs.
That's what I'm talking about.
Throwing the ball,
that's how
you're
he
fine.
got hurt.
Exactly.
And I think that was in there.
Naturally,
Yes, I agree.
because of the shoulder, regardless if you feel it or not, I'm not going to get out the pocket and just run every single time that I normally would, because we saw him do it, and it was like he started sliding. He was
slid early.
That should have been part of their
not been
game
him all
plan.
season long.
That should have been part of their game plan, was him running more. I mean, he held it in the pocket a little too long at times.
It's what he always has done all
Right,
season
but
long.
I mean, I just think it should have been baked into their game plan. If they get too much pressure on you, take off and run. And they were vulnerable there, and to your point, he didn't do it till late, and he had some success. But even then, he wasn't running as aggressively as he did earlier in the season. So I do think that's where the shoulder came into play. But the throws, no. The Matt Hollins throw was perfect. It was good defense. Yeah. It was a perfect throw, perfect catch.
Again, I've beaten this drum a few times. The lack of data around throws, you can tell if a baseball pitcher has a slight tweak. It's like, your spin rate is down from 100 spins per second to 79 spins per second. Like, the balls look different. That being said, 100% Drake Maye, as healthy as possible, still loses this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but not as badly. Patriots.
I think you're getting hit in football, so you're not getting hit in pitching.
No, but just the ball flying.
But
into
it's
the
I get what
we
you're
have
saying.
no data on it.
But it's
We have
baked in.
too much
that,
data everywhere.
I'm not 100% by the third quarter because I've been hit 7 times.
Patriots had an easy schedule, got to the Super Bowl, got crushed. Patriots fraud whispers come back to haunt them with Super Bowl reality check. Ouch. Greg, did this game prove the Patriots skeptics right?
No, not at all. Because, again, they still got to the Super Bowl facing defenses that we thought, man, they're going to give them problems to the point where they're not going to get beyond those teams. And they did. They just faced a better defense almost every time they went, with the exception of Houston being before Denver. And it depends on who you are. You would say Denver's better than them. At the end of the day, the defenses got better, and better. And it was going to be whether or not Drake Maye could put together or string together at least 1 or 2 really good performances. One being in the Super Bowl, where we obviously know that they were going to need him to be special, and he just simply wasn't. There's a lot of reasons around that, but I don't blame their schedule because they fought and they got past a lot of great defenses in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm with Greg. Look, they split with Buffalo, went up there and beat Buffalo. They pounded Carolina. I know they didn't have a tough schedule, but they pounded a Carolina team that gave the Rams trouble, beat them, gave them trouble in the playoffs, and then they beat 3 good defenses in the playoffs. It's simple to me. The difference is they faced a team with a great defense, as they have been facing, but then also a team whose quarterback didn't kill them.
Yep.
Stidham could not make them pay. CJ just imploded. And Herbert is just not been a good playoff quarterback. All Sam Darnold did was make the one play for the touchdown and play clean. And that was enough. Yep. And had any of those other quarterbacks been able to do that, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Patriots, but maybe they don't get to the Super Bowl. That was just the difference.
So the Patriots obviously were not frauds. The Patriots obviously were not a bad team. Were the Patriots a great team? I don't think so. Are we going to leave this year and say the Patriots were the best team in football? Obviously not. Seattle just won. I'm not going to leave this year thinking they were the second best team. I think the Rams were. Does it draw into question, even though I was super down on them? Were they the third best team, or was that Denver whose quarterback was out? I don't know. Like, that seems like a fair question. Now, I don't think Buffalo gets to claim they were better than New England. They played them twice. They split. New England got further. New England had a better record. But it raises, to me, fair question about how, was this year, because of how things fell, was it a varsity and a university conferences wise? Maybe a little bit. That the NFC was just the far more difficult conference as it turned out. We didn't think going into the year, but as it played out, I think that ends up being a fair question. I also think, and this is the part that is hardest to swallow, I think, if you're a Pats fan. Because Wildes is totally right. If you win the Super Bowl, no one remembers. You know how people found out the 99 Rams had a soft schedule? Because the 2025 Patriots had a soft schedule. And they kept me, it was like, hey, look at this. I had no idea. I had no idea the greatest show on turf had a soft schedule. Yeah. And the softest. And the 72 Dolphins get talked about more than any team from the 70s. They went undefeated. No one's ever been like, did you know? Yeah. Second easiest schedule of all time. Nobody knows. So had you won, it would not have mattered at all. But it also does feel like, ooh, maybe not quite as close as we thought 72 hours ago, and might be even that much harder to get back there. Oh, well, that you could have stolen one, so to speak. Yeah. And I think it is. I think that is where this gets really tough.
I think we hit the ceiling of, we're a good team, okay? Vrabel came in early, Greg, and was like, we want to take advantage of bad football. And next thing you know, the wins start stacking up because we're taking advantage of bad football. In the playoffs, we're taking advantage of bad football, and then you run into some luck. The ball bounces one way, missed field goal here and there, but the Seahawks announced, we don't play bad football. I'm trying to think of that game. Was there a real mistake that the Seahawks made? Like, every punt was amazing.
Missed on the scramble play, when JSN.
That's and that could have been a 90-yard touchdown.
Yeah, so that's the one.
Every kick, every field goal was pure. Every punt was great. The rushes were always excellent. The coverage was great. A few Darnold broken plays when he was being pressured, he didn't nail.
Yeah, and I wouldn't classify them as mistakes.
No.
Those were just misses.
Yeah, just misses. Right. But it was like a pretty excellent.
So Darnold's, Drake's touchdown pass was good defense. It was just a perfect pass.
Yeah. Go ahead, you had something else? No, you had some smart aleck thing. Do it.
I'm not
Say it. Say it.
Don't spare us.
I have one graphic sitting in my back pocket that it's a.
Bring up the Chiefs.
I didn't.
Great.
Wow, who said that?
Bring up the Chiefs. I would love you to.
It's in case of emergency graphic.
No, do it, buddy.
in case it gets too rough out here.
I would love you to.
I didn't do anything. I'm just
talking. I want to see it now.
No, I didn't do anything.
This should be fun for you. I can't wait till the Ravens lose the Super Bowl. I can't wait to be.
I can't wait
the butt of the joke.
Mike Vrabel that's a good way to look at it. Mike Vrabel's Coach of the Year, Josh McDaniels Assistant Coach of the Year, but it's Mike McDonald's squad that is waking up as champions. Here's Vrabel on what went wrong.
We couldn't gain any rhythm, field position. We got to get into drives better offensively. Defensively, we've been really good against the run lately, and we weren't. And, again, we were just playing catch up.
Were the Patriots outcoached here?
By a lot. And our guy Barnwell, in his opus before the game, wrote that one place the Patriots definitely will have the edge is game management.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
No.
I think there were two objective mistakes and 2 or 3 more. I think they were mistakes, but reasonable minds can disagree. As far as I think you should have challenged Greg. It seems like.
Yeah, no, I believe he should have.
But you think it would have. So that was, and that is not something that you are ever going to get replay assist help on, because replay assist is there for obvious mistakes, not, judgment calls. So I think that was a mistake. I think for a guy who has been very aggressive on fourth down stuff, I mean, they had a 4th and 3, down 9-0 in the second half.
Have to go.
And they punted. They had a 4th and 4, down 12-0 in the second half, and they punted. And then the two, to me, just objective mistakes. The 4th and 1, down 12-0 in the second half. I don't understand how you're not going for it. And when you scored your touchdown, it's 19-6. It's 19-0. You score a touchdown, make it 19-6. There has never been a more obvious. You don't even need like fancy models. Like 20 years ago, teams know, okay, if you're down 19, you score a touchdown, obviously you go for 2, because then all of a sudden, maybe touchdown, 2-point field goal, you're back in the game. And there is no difference between down 12 and 13. None whatsoever. There's no edge to, the extra point. And it was the type of mistake he didn't make all year.
Yeah.
And so like that to me was jarring. And then I also will remind people that Josh McDaniels, who has been, on coaching staffs for 10 Super Bowls, but has been the offensive coordinator for 7 in those 10 Super Bowls, has 3 first-quarter points. They've been quarterbacked by Tom Brady and by Drake Maye. So again, we don't want to count the first 3 because he wasn't offensive coordinator. Fine. 7 Super Bowls, 0 touchdowns in the first quarter, 1 field goal in the first quarter. Weird. Just noteworthy.
I agree that they got out coached. Not going for 2 is crazy. I mean, for those, I don't know if you spelled it out. It was the difference between if you get the 2, now you need a touchdown and a field goal, potentially, including a 2-point conversion. Versus now going for 1, you kept yourself in position where you need 2 touchdowns. So that was huge. Wouldn't have made the difference, obviously, but that was a big mistake. I don't blame him on the 4th downs because those were in their territory. And they were not moving the ball at all. And I think his thought is, okay, you hate to have to kick 4th and 3 or whatever, but we're only down 6-0 or we're only down 9-0. If we go for it and don't get it and they weren't getting any yardage and then they score a touchdown or at 12-0, even a field goal, it's like, okay, it's a huge difference now. We're pretty much out of the game. Yeah. So I don't kill him for that. But to what the point Greg was making earlier, Josh McDaniels, he just didn't give Drake any answers. They didn't make any adjustments. So they were thoroughly out-coached the whole game.
Yeah, and when you watch the body language of some of the guys on the sideline in that 4th quarter, defensively specifically,
that was over.
They were frustrated with their offense, and we hadn't seen that all season long, even throughout the course of the postseason when we saw the offense struggle at its best or at its worst or be at its worst. But for me, Vrabel, where I look at it, and you look at it from those points, and yes, could he have been better? But even from a run stopping perspective, I felt like adjustments could have been made where the first thing you talk about, especially when you're playing a quarterback like Sam Darnold, regardless of what kind of game he had just come off of in the NFC Championship, you still make him beat you. You do everything within your power to eliminate and stop the run. The fact that Kenneth Walker continued to bounce the runs outside and get on the edges and do that over and over again, it was like, you got to give your defense and he did. You can tell they were going to jump routes. They knew the game plan coming in. Sam's going to try to get the ball out of his hand quick. We're going to drive on these balls. You knew that. You didn't make that adjustment. And then to my point earlier, Josh McDaniels, I just felt like you didn't help your young quarterback and your young offensive line, particularly that left side with Will Campbell, who we know struggled, with Jared Wilson, who we know struggled as well. Like, you just didn't help them out. All you had to do was side adjust.
Were you
just simply side adjust?
It's baffling.
Were you surprised they didn't have a trick play?
I'm surprised. Here's what I was surprised by. Throughout the playoffs, like, let's play Patriots smart football, and the defense will create an opportunity for us. And to your 4th down analysis, I wonder if that game was at Foxborough and Mike Vrabel heard the crowd booing because he would like snap out of it. Like, oh, I think this game is close. Like, the fans at home do not think this game is close, even though it's 6-0. Like
not going for the fourth.
Like you are too confident in it. Like,
I don't know that he was confident. I just, in that we're definitely going to score. I just think he was. If we don't score, they got a short field.
We've seen Dan Campbell's team go for it, and it gives a spark to the offense. Like, wow, they got it. That rallies the team. There's a point, I think, where if you can give a spark, you can also take a spark away. All right, it was 2nd and 2, and now it's 4th and 1. Let's come off the field. I'm like, oh man, this guy doesn't believe in us. We're gonna pump the ball back.
As far as sparks go, did you at any point think they should have given Dobbs a whirl?
I've considered moving to the North Pole, and I've considered a lot of things in my life. Did it cross my mind? I'm a creative guy, dude. I'm a creative guy. I'm just saying.
Crossed your mind.
I didn't think you were going to say that. I've
thought about becoming a painter full time. I've thought about a lot of things in my life.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.